95 million photos and videos are posted on Instagram daily, so it's imperative that your social media posts are designed for differentiation. In this video, I'll demonstrate how I would approach designing a range of social media posts with emotive copy and standout design. I'm going to bring this all together in Kittl to show you how you don't need expensive software or an overcomplicated process for this to work. So the way I see it, there are 3 pillars to a powerful social media post: emotive copy, engaging design, and a considered brand identity. These all tie into knowing your audience, which we'll get into, but we'll start with copy. To demonstrate, I'll be designing some posts for Muse, a nootropics brand aimed at professional creatives that improves creative thinking. Our post will be an educational post on the power of ginkgo, an ingredient used in our product that helps with focus and mental energy. So how do we convey this in the most engaging way possible? First, we need to know how we should speak. What's our personality and our character? We are like Apple. We use cutting-edge technology to empower creative freedom. We are diligent and backed by technology, but open-minded and approachable. Then we look at our audience and the language they use. They are high-performing professional creatives such as musicians, graphic designers and marketers. They are open-minded like us and always looking for the next product or bit of tech that's going to give them that creative edge. The language we use in our posts should bridge the gap between our brand, product and our consumer. So here's our line: ginkgo, the next gen nootropic for creative liberation. Next gen alludes to the technical know-how behind our product, while speaking in a language that our audience are used to hearing around the products they buy and use in their jobs, like their computers and their phones. Therefore, bringing our product into a world that our audience already knows and resonates with. Creative liberation is the end benefit of this ingredient. We are just saying it in a dramatic way to convey bold efficacy. Now I'm just going to come over to Kittl, which is free to use, and open a new project. I'll create a new artboard using the Instagram social post preset and place that text as a headline. The next step is to get our design aligned with our messaging and make it impactful and appealing. I already have a visual identity for this brand, with expressive colours and shapes to represent creative liberation. Gradients show the transformative state the product puts you in. Brainwave icons communicate the science behind each product, similar to the sort of graphics you would find in fitness apps. I'll use this aesthetic to design my post. First, I want a depiction of ginkgo. Kittl has a huge library of images you can use. Many are available on the free plan, but a whole world of extras are opened up in the paid plans. I have found the image I want to use in the existing library, but you can also generate images using the built-in AI software. I'm going to use the AI tool to remove the background. Now I want some background graphics. I could upload and use the graphics I already have on the packaging, but to show you that this is all possible in Kittl alone, I will use the AI software tool to generate a gradient. I can then move and resize that to create some really expressive background graphics. Now I want my ginkgo to sit in a droplet, since the product comes in liquid form. Again, I could use the AI tool to find something. I'll change the layer styles on the right hand side here to blend these elements with the background better. I'll then group them in the layers panel to make it easier to edit and move things around. Lastly, I'm going to reapply my copy. I'll call out the ingredient name clearly in a rounded rectangle, which I can create by combining a few shapes and grouping them. There are plenty of pre-built shapes to choose from. I just like the flexibility that this method gives. I'll change the colour to white in the right hand side here, and then copy my ginkgo text into that holding shape. The font I'm going for is Poppins. It feels contemporary and open. It's quite reflective of my brand identity. I'll have the copy line under that and find out more on the bottom right, so I can turn this into a carousel and prompt the viewer to scroll to the next page. To help generate standout, you can always add a subtle drop shadow. Just be careful it's not too heavy, because this can create a dated look, so keep it subtle. You'll notice I'm using different weights of one font, which creates a clean and consistent look. As a rule of thumb, you never want to use any more than 2 different fonts. Try to use multiple weights and sizes to create the correct hierarchy. Again, I'm going to combine some shapes to create a custom arrow shape, which helps prompt the viewer to scroll to the next image. And I'll add some stars to draw attention. You can see this has a nice flow and hierarchy to it, with the eye starting in the top left, then scanning across the image, finishing with the prompt in the bottom right. We now have copy and imagery that are all speaking the same visual and verbal language, marrying up technology and creativity in a way that our audience can resonate with. It's expressive and creative while being anchored in approachable technology with clean graphics, rounded open typography and clear hierarchy. This creates an eye-catching tension. Kittl has a great feature in that it allows you to easily create multiple artboards on the same project. So I'll just click up here and select another Instagram post, which will be the next slide in our carousel. I can now just copy over some of these graphics and go into more detail with text about the benefits of our ingredient. I'm just designing the first benefit to show you how it works, but this could go on for 4 or 5 images just by creating a new artboard using our self-built graphic template. Another way you could do it is by duplicating one of your existing artboards and changing the dimensions. So you've already got most of the things you need on the board. Again, I'm making sure I've got different sizes of text to create a sense of pace in the design and give more standout to certain bits of information. These designs could be used in the future to cover off other ingredients. So while it takes a bit of time to create the first set, you're creating a suite of assets that can be reused for future posts. For example, if I want to create a story about an event we are hosting, a creative seminar with Rick Rubin, we can create an artboard with an Instagram story dimensions, drag over our elements and just adapt to the layout and copy. Finally, including an image of the man himself. I'll then overlay one of our gradients to bring it all into the same colour palette. I would highly recommend Kittl. Try it for free using my link in the description. For 25% off the first month or year of the Pro and Expert plans, use my code at checkout, Shapes by Sean YT, and you'll have access to the full potential of Kittl for a very affordable price. The last pillar of a powerful post is a strong brand identity. Now, this is not something I can explain properly in the next 2 minutes. It's this huge subject that I will be making videos on, but here it is in a nutshell. You see how the packaging, posters, social media posts for Muse all have the same visual and verbal style. That is part of a brand identity. It's who you are, how you act, look and sound. It's your brand character. It's the gut feeling your audience feels when they see your product, interact with your service or think about your brand. In a world where thousands of brands are all competing with very similar products, it's important to let your consumer know who you are. For Muse, it's all about being technologically diligent, pioneering new and ever-evolving nootropics to liberate the mind of creative professionals. Everything I designed for this brand comes from that philosophy. If you are a plumber who is particularly open and honest and friendly with your customers, trying to give people the best deal possible, you would want all of these characteristics to come through in your brand identity. If you're an accountant who is very diligent and serious, but not so keen on the smiley, light-hearted interactions with clients, you might want to lean into your strengths and present yourself as the accountant for professionals who take things seriously. For a brand like Red Bull, it's all about extreme energy and extreme sports, pushing the boundaries of what we do as people. For Nike, it's about bringing inspiration and innovation to every athlete, whether it's a top-tier athlete or someone going to their first fun run. It's the trying and effort that counts, so they want to be accessible and inspiring to anyone. I would recommend the book Zag by Martin Numier if you want a deep dive into branding for the modern world. I don't think there is anyone that explains it better than him, but I will be making more videos on the subject in the future. So to summarise my pocket guide to powerful posts, you need to have emotive copy with a clear branded tone of voice that speaks the language of our consumer, engaging design which reinforces our copy with clear, bold character that resonates with our audience and their world, and a considered brand identity. This ties the copy and design together and defines how our brand looks, sounds and acts. I hope you found this helpful. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks for watching.